Hello everybody. We are live today, our first live of the day it's going to be with Jeannette from Misfit Vegan. Her book in the bundle is all raw vegan beauty. So face masks, how raw is beautiful for the skin and all that good stuff. So we're excited to talk about all things raw vegan beauty in this live. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask for sure. We're gonna bring Jeannette on right here. Oh, and by the way, the bundle link is right here. I pinned it in the comments, so if you want to grab the bundle, you can do that. But let's get Jeannette in here. Ooh, Jeannette. I love her so much. She's so sweet. Let's see. Are you ready? We're ready? Jeannette, yay!
Oh my gosh! How are you, boo?
I'm good. How are you?
I don't know why I'm so nervous. We're friends in real life, so I don't know. I'm just such a big fan, and it's so weird to be friends with somebody you're such a big fan of. So let me get my situation. Camera.
Oh, you're awesome. You're a serious awesome. Big hugs.
Love you, Lisa. I love you so much. And honestly, whoa, your book, dude, the party book, guys, is ridiculous. Ridiculous, Lisa. Like, honestly, thank you so much for making this, because this is going to be a game changer for me personally for holidays. Like, wow. I did your cucumber boats yesterday. Mango cucumber boats. They were so easy to make and so delicious. I love it. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. What else are you excited to try in the party food book?
Okay, so the party food book, okay, so I'm looking at it and I was a little intimidated, you know, because I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen. And I was looking through it and I was like, oh, I could do this. I can do this. So I'm definitely looking at the tacos, obviously, like ridiculous. And, you know, honestly, I have to dive deep into it because it is like, there's so much in the bundle that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to make. I feel like I'm set up for a year with this bundle, like the whole year. I'm set up and I'm so excited. So yeah, definitely interested in making all of the new different like appetizers that like I never even, you know, it's just so creative what you do, and I'm such a big fan, as you know.
I
love you.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's something to eating just fruit and salads, but there's also something fun about getting in the kitchen and being creative and, you know, just making something different, especially for the family and friends who are already eating all that other stuff. And you're like, I just want to make something that they might enjoy, right? That's healthy.
You know what? And for somebody like me, Lisa, like I'm not creative in the kitchen like you. I'm not. Like I'm a raw vegan and I do not know what I'm doing. I'm not a chef. I don't know how to cut a melon, and that's it. But that's why these bundles and your books are so important. Just for you, dips and dressings changed my life. It really did. It really changed my life because I was trying to do the low fat thing and I couldn't find good dressings. And so ever since then, I've been a big fan. And it's so important to have these treats, these yummy, delicious, healthy, raw vegan treats that you don't crave or, you know, fall into temptation during the holidays, especially during the holidays. So.
Oh, especially. And that's why I'm glad that we could release right before, so people have time to go through all the books, because there's 55 books in this bundle and they're all brand new. Like your book is brand new. You wrote it for this bundle. Everybody who wrote a book for the bundle wrote it for the bundle. So yeah, everybody who's watching, it's like they don't have any of the stuff that's in the bundle. And if they were to buy everything separately, like after the bundle, we're all gonna sell our books on our website, but the total value is over $3,200. So for 50 bucks, you get everything all brand new. I mean, you gotta do it. Yeah, it's links in our bios, guys.
It's the best deal on the internet, for sure. For everybody too, right?
Definitely. I know, and then we're all going live with each other and we're hanging out, we're talking about really cool stuff, and we get to connect with our followers. It's amazing. I love bundle time. I love bundle time.
For everything you do and for doing this. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. And your book is so cool because it's not like a classic recipe book. It's it's skincare and beauty and raw food. And why did you decide to write your book the way that you did?
Yeah, well, so like I said, I'm no raw food romance. I always say this. I'm no raw food romance. I'm not good with recipes. I don't know what I'm doing. That's why I need books like hers. I need recipes. I don't know how she does it. And so I could never really come up with a recipe book. I mean, I have a few, but they're like basic ones with very simple recipes, you know? And so I wanted to write a book about beauty because one, I don't know a raw vegan beauty book that's out there. And two, I have struggled over the last 10 years trying to figure out how to feel and look my best, but also be healthy, be my healthiest version at the same time. You know, there's still a lot of like things we don't know about skincare. You know, every single thing that we put on our skin is absorbed into our bloodstream. So obviously, like if you're using toxic drugstore stuff, there's better options, right? There's healthier options. But on top of that, there's even more healthier options, which is what I talk about in my book. Things you can make yourself, you know, from makeup to toothpaste, shampoo to face masks. And I know you did one of the face masks, right?
Yeah, I posted a reel right before our live.
Oh my
cool.
God. I have to watch it. I saw it real quick, but I gotta watch it. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah, I did the pineapple one. And we don't have olive oil because we don't eat oil, right? So I'm like, what do I use instead? So I used coconut oil instead.
Absolutely.
And
any oil.
Yeah. And it was so nice. I was like, oh, my skin was like so nice after. And I use skincare products. Like I brought some out to show people.
Yes.
I like Eminence. So Eminence they're biodynamic and they're wonderful. It's got gems in it, gemstones in it, citrine gemstones, and this one heats up and like it's cool and stuff, but there is definitely something to say about putting fruit on your face or avocado and just doing something simple, right? If you can't afford these or don't want to use them, if you do, that's cool too, right? But I like to try to get as natural. Like you could eat this stuff. It wouldn't taste that great, but, but you could eat it. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely use products, and there's a whole list in the book of the best ones that I have found. And I always love to learn. So Eminence is one that I know. Oh, I can't wait to check that.
There's another one too that, so when I was in Oregon, my friend Erin and I would go for monthly facials, and they were Eminence facials, and they did like a face massage. It was like super cool. I loved it. But coming to Vegas, I was like, I need to find a place because now I miss my monthly facials, right? And I'm like, I want to go because there's something to be said about someone else, like just like massaging your face and like you know, they get into your neck and they do like a scalp massage. I'm like, damn, this is so nice. But the spa here that I can go to, they use Monat, which is I think it's a multi-level, but I use the hair care sometimes. But they have this line is all vegan, and I don't know if it's like the most natural stuff, but they're vegan, and I wanted to go to a place that does vegan facials. Like I don't want to use any products that aren't vegan, but the Monat ones are vegan. They're not as natural as Eminence, but in this case, if it's going to be a facial, I want it to be vegan 100%. So
we're living in an unnatural world, and I always say to myself, in a world of like good, better, and best, you know, we do our best. We just do our best, you know, and like, if anything, of course, like vegan is the #1 most important thing for me as well. I don't want to hurt any other living being by getting a facial, you know, this is like #1. And yeah, so there's a whole list of those things because I would love to know your beauty history. I'll just tell you quickly right now. So I'm someone who was very like into beauty as a kid and a teenager. I always wanted to like look beautiful and do my hair. I did my nails like every day. I changed the color every day in junior high. I was like girly girl. And then what happened was I went raw vegan in 2012, and I'm just gonna be honest. At the time, I was dating someone, and he was a raw vegan, and he was like, you know, you can't dye your hair, you can't wear makeup anymore, like it's toxic, you know. He was just like really against all of the products, nail polish. He was teaching me, but at the same time, like, I really liked my girly stuff. And so I gave up all that stuff. Like, I stopped dyeing my hair. I stopped wearing any makeup, no nail polish, nothing. And I was not happy. You know, I missed that part of me that, like, I don't know. I just really love to look my best. Okay. And so that was a toxic relationship, clearly. And so after we broke up, then I started like going back to my original roots, which is like to feel good and look good. But I was raw vegan. So I started researching. I started finding out new products and ways to do like my hair and nails and makeup that was not going to harm me. Okay. Because there are so many side effects to these toxic makeup products that we don't even know. They're not studied. They're definitely not like researched, and they're not talked about. You know, all these ingredients, they go, especially our lips, they go directly into our bloodstream. So we need to for sure be aware of this, and especially if we have any symptoms or side effects that are like unexplainable. You know, some people, they go to the doctor and the doctor doesn't know what's wrong with them. This happens a lot. Headaches and skin issues and, you know, like just chronic fatigue and dizziness or whatever. These are unexplained symptoms, and a lot of them can come from toxic chemicals in our bloodstream. So that is why I started this book. I honestly started this book like 10 years ago, honestly. This is, yeah, it's a long time coming. And yeah, so I would love to know your beauty journey, how you to be where you are today. So
cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's really interesting. And I feel like a lot of people in the raw community kind of shun that girly girl side, right? And it's like, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. But it's like, if you want to, it's not bad, because most people who want to do it aren't doing it out of like, because they hate themselves, right? I don't get myself done up because I hate myself when I don't, right? I just enjoy it. It's fun. It's something extra. And I like curl my hair because I enjoy it, right? I don't do it because I hate my hair the way it is.
Makes you feel even better than you already feel.
Yeah, we're just enhancing, right? That's really all it is. But then if somebody's doing it because they can't go out of their house without mascara, then that's something that they need to really work deeply on within themselves, because it's like, why can't you leave your house without mascara, right? What is it about that? But for me, for my journey, in the beginning, like when I was a teenager, I was opposite of you. I didn't care about any of it because I wasn't taught.
No way.
Yeah, I was like totally a rat's nest to school. I was not into makeup at all until I was like, oh my gosh, probably like 28 or 30 is when I started to get into like the makeup scene. Wow. Because I was never taught and I wasn't exposed to it. So I was like, it wasn't even part of my life, which was really interesting because I kind of wish that it was, because I could have done so many cool things because I'm an artist and I love to like paint and everything. But I didn't do anything like that until I was in my late 20s. And I started to like experiment with products, and I was coloring my hair a lot. But when I went raw, I felt a little bit gaslit by some people who were like, no, you can't wear makeup and blah, 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 because you have to be all natural. I'm like, but you can be all natural and still do stuff, right? Like you did with the raspberries. You would put the raspberries on your lips, right? For a little color. And like back in the day, you'd pinch your cheeks, right? To get them a little blushed, or spend some time out in the sun to get a little sun on your face, to get that color or what have you. So I would say, like, I don't know, after I went raw, I really struggled with that in the really early beginning, because before I went raw, for that decade where I was trying raw all the time, I would always do high fat raw, lots of gourmet, and I was always under eating. And I had serious, severe cystic adult acne since I was a teen, right? Like really hardcore. And I had like scars after, like when I went raw, the cystic acne stopped after about 5 months or so, but I had all of these like dark scars, and I don't know if it was from the acne itself or just from age or damage or what have you. I don't know what it was, but it looked like my face was dirty all the time. So I felt self-conscious on it because it reminded me of the damage I had done to my face. Because not only would I break out, but I had like anxiety and I would pick my face a lot from the anxiety. And I was also sitting at my desk all the time doing photography work. And it was just like natural for my hand to just gravitate to my face and it would pick and then it would bleed. And I'd be like, why did I do that? Now it's going to take however much longer to heal. But it was like a cycle that I was in. And when I went raw, I stopped breaking out. So I stopped touching my face because it wasn't there to touch, right? And my anxiety level went way down. So I wasn't always like at my face. But during those 10 years, I was like caking on the makeup to try and hide my acne and to try and hide what was going on my face, the inflammation and all the damage and the scars and everything. So I had that kind of mindset where I was trying to hide because I was worried about what was on my face, right? And so, yeah, after I went raw and I started healing, then it was the scars that were on my face. And I'd be like, oh, I gotta like hide the scar. And sometimes I'd look in the mirror and I'd be like, oh, like my face is dirty. But it wasn't until in Canada, right before I moved here, I did about 6 months of red light therapy. And I only did it because the tanning salon had a sale and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna take a nap 20 minutes a day. So I went into this red light therapy and I was just doing it because it sounded good and I was gonna take a nap, and I wasn't doing it for anything specific. And I was also going to hot yoga almost every day. It was like 5 days a week, give or take. Sometimes it was every day. And so the sweating from the hot yoga, the raw food diet, the hydration that I was still doing, and the red light therapy, I think that got rid of those scars. I really do. Because I did that for about 6 months straight. And it made a huge difference in my skin. Yeah, and so now I still do the makeup thing. I use as natural as possible. Like Jane Iredell is really, really good natural makeup line that I really like. And I always make sure that it's vegan, top #1, obviously, but I try to get the most natural. And I really like doing like the blush. I put it on top of my nose so it looks like I got a little sun. And then, yeah, and I really like this, the Cover FX. And I put like one dot on my nose here and I just kind of brush it so it's a little shiny. But just little things, right? Little things.
Yes, somebody asked about mascara just now. I just want to say quick. There's a few things you can do, okay? First of all, I don't use mascara anymore, really. I put a little on today because it's a special occasion. I'm on this channel, honestly. But okay, here's what honestly, this has changed my life. If you don't have an eyelash, like Lisa, how amazing is the eyelash curler? And as a tip, you can warm it up a little bit with a blow dryer, just a little bit, and make it warm, kind of like a hair curler. And then you curl your lashes, literally game changer. I usually never wear mascara. There is a mascara recipe in my book, a DIY mascara, okay? And then if you want to use a real mascara, because sometimes we need to, right? Sometimes you're on Raw Food Romances live, look good. Okay, you gotta look extra good. So I recommend 100% pure. I recommend 100%. And there's another one too that I recommend. It's I like Pacifica. You know,
oh, yeah.
These are nice, natural-ish brands, cruelty-free, of course. But the best is going to be the ones you make yourself. Okay, so you can make a mascara yourself. I'm not gonna give you the recipe though. You gotta get the so yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know you guys gotta buy the bundle to get all the really cool recipes. Like the mask that I did, that was amazing. And yeah, some of the recipes I'm really excited to make and try because I haven't experimented enough with just putting food on my face, right? It's like obvious that we would do that.
I did this. I came up with these recipes during that time. It was like a 6 or 7 year relationship. And like, I was trying to be like perfect. I was trying to be a perfect raw vegan. And, you know, I was not using any product at all, but I still had some like you, I had cystic acne as an adult. And so I was trying to get rid of the scars and the blackheads. And so I came up with this one. It's limes and cilantro. Okay. And this gets rid of blackheads. This recipe is so amazing. Guys, you mix lime juice and cilantro in the blender, or you juice the cilantro, and that's even better. Okay. Mix it with lime juice, put it on, leave it on for up to an hour. Afterwards, your skin will feel so soft and the blackheads will be gone. Okay. It's so powerful. Fruit and veggies are so powerful. We don't even know. Like, I know you're a researcher, Lissa. Like, I know you're into researching, and I know you know like way more about the power of fruit and vegetables than I do. But honestly, we don't even know. Like, scientists don't. Yeah. It's so ridiculous how much life force and energy and like magical stuff is in these fruit and vegetables. And this is so cheap compared to all the products in the department store. They're charging like so much, especially for the natural stuff, you know, it's even more expensive. So yeah, that's another face mask. And there's like, I think there's like 25 of them in the book.
You are amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I want to try that lime one just because it's cilantro and it probably smells so fresh.
When it gets on your hands, you just lick it off. It tastes so good.
That would taste amazing. Oh my gosh. We have someone asking suggestions on hair color.
Yep, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
I know. I really want to get a balayage where it's like ombre kind of. I want to switch it up, but I don't know where to go because it's.
So what is your response to that about the hair color? What do you like?
So I haven't colored my hair in, I don't know. I think it's been over a year now. So all of this is all natural, probably like all my bangs are natural. This is all my natural color. And also I've been out in the sun a lot being in Vegas. So it's a lot lighter than it normally is. Normally it's a little bit darker. So I do want to color it but because I want to get like highlights or, you know, like get something different. I don't know. It's just fun to do different stuff. But when it comes to that, I always would default to henna was like one of mine, but it's so messy.
I bet.
It's a whole ordeal, right? Like you gotta like you have to wash your whole tub area after you're using it because it's pretty messy, right? But it does work, and you can only use it on hair that hasn't been colored. Otherwise it doesn't pick up the same way on your hair. But there are some natural hair coloring that I've used. I know Herbitint was one that I've used in the past. But what would be some of yours?
I'm gonna write down Herbitint. I think but I've never like really researched it. So okay, the hair thing, I'm glad somebody asked. This is one of my last vices, guys. Okay, I am a natural blonde, but I should have been born blonde. Okay, so it's not my fault. Okay, the raw vegan gods didn't make me blonde, which is what I should be. So now I do get my hair highlighted. I go to a natural salon here in Miami. I had an amazing woman in New York. So if anybody lives in New York, DM me. I will give you her information. She does like Heidi Klum's hair. She does like all these celebrity hairs, and she uses something called, it's like Organica or something. She uses a natural, you know, product. However, is damaging. Okay, getting your hair done, dyed, highlighted, whatever it is, even if it's in a holistic natural salon, it's very damaging to your hair. So if you're going to get your hair done, which I do, I really recommend, there's certain things you can do. Okay, for example, there's an aloe mask, which is simply just fresh aloe vera. You cut it in half, okay, and then you put your hair. I do this once a week, especially right after you get your hair done. This is really going to help you. Aloe is so powerful. Do you mess with aloe? Yeah.
Yep.
Put it on your face. If you have like acne or any type of eczema or psoriasis or skin issues, aloe is amazing for that. Put it on your hair. So you take the 2 pieces of aloe and you put it through your hair all the way to the top. If you can go in the sun for 20 minutes, that would be best. Wash it off, rinse twice, of course, shampoo and rinse it twice, and that will really help you. There's a few masks in my book as well. One of them is coconut oil and olive oil. If you mix that together, it makes a really good hair mask as well. And you know, you've got to just do it as least as possible. Okay, so I get my hair done once a year, and I'm, you know, honestly, I wish I would stop because my hair is getting very damaged from it. But I love it. I want to be blonde, and so this is the, you know, you got to take care of it in natural ways to undo the damage that you're doing, and try to find an organic salon, but it's still going to damage.
Yeah, another thing I've heard too is for those, like my sister has hair almost exactly like yours, where it's dark, but it goes blonde very easily.
Yeah.
She used to actually put streaks, like she would take pieces of her hair like this. I actually burned my hand on my curling iron. So that's why I have this spot here.
Not easy being beautiful, guys. Okay, that's the
I know, right?
What it's about. It's not easy.
So she would take a piece like this and she would soak it in lemon juice, and then she would go outside and suntan, and those pieces would, and I used to do it when I was younger too, but my hair would go copper orange, so I was like, I'm not going to do that.
See,
but the lemon juice,
I've heard of this, Lisa, but I was scared that my hair's going to get orange. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll try one piece. Maybe.
Yeah, try one piece and see how it goes, because that's what she did to get her streaks. And I think that, like, if you're like natural, like a brunette, kind of like mine, like all of this, I would say from here to about here is all my natural color.
Wow. So beautiful.
So that's my natural color. And I have like a couple grays. I mean, I'm going to be 42 in December. So
how is this possible? Lisa, you know what we need to do? We need to host at Woodstock Fruit Festival next year. We need to host like an age game show where people try to get people's ages. Literally, I would never guess. I would never guess that you're 43. And 43, that's not old, but like you look 23. So like,
aw, thank you.
Yeah, and everybody that goes to Woodstock, you can never guess their age. You can never guess their age.
Yeah.
So yeah, before we leave the topic of beauty, I mean, I don't even know what time it is, but the thing is that I address in the book that I really want to get your advice on or your opinion on is the mindset, because beauty is such an internal thing, you know? And like a lot of us are feeling like not good enough, you know, comparing ourselves to, like I always say to people, let's stop comparing us as soon as we wake up to someone who has had 4 hours of hair and makeup, photoshops, lighting, you know, all the stuff, retouching, professionals doing everything. You know, we're comparing ourselves as soon as we wake up in the morning to them. And so I wanted to know, what is your advice as far as like dealing with the mindset of comparing ourselves and, you know, just like feeling as beautiful as we really are in society today, where you have to be perfect. You have to have the perfect hair, perfect body. Everything needs to be perfect, or else, you know, we don't feel amazing.
Yeah, that's such a good topic, because I feel like, especially in the raw vegan community, the outsider, I don't want to say outsiders. I have like, sometimes it's hard to describe stuff, but you have to use certain words. But people who aren't raw vegan, or who are interested in raw vegan, who are looking into the raw vegan community and looking at people who are raw, right? They immediately have this idea that they're going to be immortal. They're never going to age. They're never going to have wrinkles. We're going to stay the same for the entire time of our lives, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're human too. We're just people who are sharing our love of raw food and our love of the most natural stuff that we can use, right? So we are still going to age. We are still going to get wrinkles. Like I look, I have wrinkles. I mean, it's normal. It's natural. And yeah, as we age, right? And I think there's a difference between, like we had mentioned earlier, a big difference between doing things because you feel not good enough and doing things because you love it, right? Like, I love myself without filters on Instagram and social media. Like, I don't have a filter on right now, but I also love filters. Huh?
You know what? I just want to say I appreciate that. Okay. Nothing wrong with filters, but I have to say, when I'm live with somebody else that has a filter, a little part of me feels not good enough. I don't know why. The filters really bother me, and that's just a personal opinion. Like we are, dude, we don't need to cover we're beautiful no matter what, whether we look perfect or not. The filters kind of make me feel a little way. I don't know. So thank you. Thank you.
No, yeah, for sure. And I like sometimes, and it depends on the lighting too, right? Like sometimes if the lighting is like off, I'd rather put a filter on. But if the lighting's perfect, I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter, right? And it's not that I don't like myself. It's like, that's just, I enjoy it. So yeah, I totally get you too, right? But I feel like most of us don't realize what filters do, because they do change how you look. And if we see that there's a filter on, we know that they are enhanced, right? It's just like wearing makeup, right? If you see someone wearing makeup, that's a real life filter.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's a real life filter. And we don't see them, how you said, how they look when they wake up first thing in the morning after they've washed their face, or they're groggy, or maybe they didn't take their makeup off the night before and it's all over their face, right? We don't see that. So we only see it from our perspective because we look in the mirror at ourselves and we see that and we're like, right? But we don't see it from other people. And I feel like, yes, there's filters on social media, but like the makeup in real life is a filter. We still can have those feelings of comparing ourselves to somebody who's wearing makeup, but we don't have to wear makeup to feel pretty, because it is all internal. You only wear makeup because you want to, not because you have to, in order to feel beautiful. And it's hard because each person's different and each person's dealing with their own internal not good enough. And yes, society does perpetuate that, but we have to also be strong enough in our own beauty, right? No matter what we look like. And I think too, I've noticed this as well with the, you have like those before and afters where it's the same person and the picture's taken like 30 seconds after. And in the one, they're all posed and everything. And then the second one, you know, they pull down their pants down onto their hips so you can see all their belly, or they're crunched, right? And you can see like, you see them from a different angle from how you would in real life, right? You would see them that way. But I feel like we can love both versions of ourselves. We can love the posed, the pretty, the hair and makeup. We can love that side of ourselves just as much as we love the crunched, you know, if you have cellulite, if you are overweight, or if you have acne or what have you, we can love both versions of ourselves instead of comparing. But it is such a touchy subject because we want to feel beautiful. And that's why filters and makeup and skincare and everything is such a popular thing, because we want that. So we're giving our money and we're using the products and we're trying because we love it naturally. I think instinctually we want to be beautiful and we want to be our best selves, because, you know, like the attraction thing, whole like the species has to continue and we want to attract the opposite sex to, or the same sex or whatever, right? We want to attract that because we want that connection. So animals in nature do it too, naturally, because like peacocks, for example, they're naturally, they get all beautiful and everything. And it's natural to want to be beautiful. And I think that's what drives the societal beliefs of what beauty is, because we want to be beautiful, but we have to be beautiful with what we have. And like you said, just enhance, like put berries on your lips or do the skincare. And it's nice to do the skincare. It feels so good and it's meditative and calming and relaxing and all that stuff too. So
yeah, that's why I wrote the book, and that's why I came up with these recipes, because like you said, what you said is so key. Okay, we need to feel comfortable in our skin and feel beautiful no matter what we look like, because beauty is a feeling. It comes from how we feel. There are so many beautiful people out there that don't feel beautiful. And, you know, I was talking to Rabbi Mara the other day, and she was a model for a long time, and she was always around people, other models that were miserable and depressed, and they didn't feel beautiful. And they were literally paid to be beautiful. Okay, so honestly, like, accepting ourselves is so important. And accentuating the things we love. Okay, so everyone that's watching this, I challenge you, okay, to right after this live, go to the mirror, or take out your phone or a mirror and find 5 things that you love about yourself and focus on those things. So this really helped me in my journey, because I actually, for a very long time, I didn't feel beautiful, and I felt very like unattractive and almost like the ugliest person in the world. I would always say to myself that that's who I was. I had very bad acne. I was overweight, and you know, like your skin is like, it's the first thing people see, I feel like, you know, and as a female, it's very hard. Okay. As a guy too, but as a girl, it's very hard to have a lot of acne. And, I would always like, I would never socialize, and I would just go to school and come back home, and I was not comfortable at all. And you know, the feeling had nothing to do with my skin. I realize that now, you know? And so what I should have done back then, and now I know, is pick 5 things that I love, or a few things that I loved, and accentuate those things. I didn't just have acne. I had beautiful green eyes. I didn't just have acne. I had, my hair used to be nice after I dyed. I've been dyeing it for a while, but I used to have beautiful, thick, beautiful hair. Okay. I didn't just have acne. All right. I had, you know, beautiful, I don't know, nails. My nails, you know, beautiful. So like, we need to accentuate the things we love. Okay, we love. Thank you so much, guys. Instead of just focusing on the things that we hate. That's a big one. That's a big one for me, and it really helped my self-esteem. By the way, I just want to tell you guys a little story. If I didn't have acne, I would never be vegan. I just realized this. So listen to this, Lisa. This is hilarious. I was calling out of work all the time because I had really bad acne, like you. And beautiful skin now, just like me. Okay. And I had really bad acne. And one day I called out of work because I had a really bad cystic acne breakout here. And like, it would make it so I couldn't see. Have you ever had acne like around your eyes? And it
yeah, like, sometimes it used to be, yeah, in the eyebrow. I had a lot here. This was my area.
I had a lot all over my face, but at this one time I had an acne breakout that made it so uncomfortable I couldn't see. So I called out of work, and that day on the Oprah show, the Food Inc., the guy that does Food Inc., he was on the show, and he was premiering it, and they were selling it for $1 that day on Amazon. So I bought it, and I immediately went vegan. So I just want you guys to know, every single thing that's happening in your life, even if it feels like unfair or like feels like such a burden, it's actually a blessing. I would never be here on Lissa's live without having cystic acne. I would have never done Food Inc. I would have never changed my diet, which changed my life, which changed the trajectory of everything in my life, you know? So yeah, crazy.
That's so true. So true. I know we have to realize that when we're going through those depths of despair, that is the catalyst for some amazing stuff that can happen if you make the changes and you make the choices and you do accept with an open heart, right, to move forward with better things. We had a question in here. Yas is asking, what are both of your skincare routines? So I'm going to start. I'll just share kind of what I do.
Please.
When I do the facial, most times I just like wash my makeup off and then go to bed. I don't like do the full thing. But if I do the full thing, I use Eminence. So I will wash with the Eminence wash. And right now I'm using the Monat toner because it smells like watermelons. Because I know, it smells so good. And sometimes I use this one. It's the Stone Crop Exfoliator. Someone was asking about exfoliating. But I really, really like just adding sugar and olive oil because that gets rid of the makeup too, right? So it's the oil breaks down the makeup and just the sugar is the exfoliant. So those two together is an awesome exfoliate cleanser. And then I'll either do a mask if I'm gonna go all out. I'll do the turmeric one, or this one here that I've been really liking. It's the citrus, kale, and C&E mask, which I really like. There's like pieces of kale in it on your face. It's awesome. And then I'll wash that off, and I have the a gua sha, I think that's what they're called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Jade
Yeah,
thing.
the little stone. Yeah, so I will massage my face. Like I'll put a cream or a coconut oil or something. I have like lots of creams because I like to buy creams. But I'll put it on and then I'll use the gua sha. And sometimes I also use a micro needling. I have a little micro needler, so I'll do that. It stimulates all the everything, and it's really nice. I really like how my skin feels after I do that. And I'll use like serums and stuff. But I have also started incorporating Irish sea moss gel, because that is kind of like the vegan collagen. So it's amazing in recipes too. By the way, the Irish moss gel thing we have in the party food ebook. I use a lot of Irish moss gel because Nate and I have started incorporating it more into our diet. And it's in a lot of the recipes in the party food book, especially like the green onion cakes. That's like your daily dose of vegan collagen. Like the green onion cakes should actually be called green beauty cakes because they're so delicious. I highly recommend making those. Buy the bundle. Buy the bundle for $50. Link in either of our bios, and grab my book is in there, Jeanette's book is in there, and there's over 50 other books in there, all brand new. So definitely go grab that. But that's my skincare routine.
For the Irish sea moss, I have a question. Do you put it on your face too?
I haven't yet because we just started using it. I have had the Irish moss gel for like ever. Like we've had it in the cupboard forever, and we just never used it until now because I wanted to make these creative recipes, and I needed something that's really flexible and pliable, that's bulking but not fat, right? So I started using it, and I actually want to start mixing it in some of your recipes to put it on my face as well, because I have heard that it is really, really good for collagen production.
Yes, I definitely need to use that more. I definitely need to use that more. I love Irish sea moss, and it's so genius what you did in your recipes. Like, I can't wait to make those cakes. And so really quick, I'm going to answer my skincare routine. Okay, so I don't have a big routine. I used to, when I had really bad skin, okay, when I had really bad acne, I had a whole routine, okay, including Accutane and including these exfoliators, the mask, the cleanser, the everything, okay, primer. I was doing everything. All right, so I gave all that up. Right now, I only use water to wash my face, okay, water, that's it. And if I ever break out, because I do break out once in a while when I'm on my period. When I get my period, every once in a while, I will break out here. Okay, coconut oil. That's the only thing that I will put on there. And it really helps. It really works. I highly recommend that. As far as, and I don't do anything else as far as my skin. Once a week, okay, every Sunday, self-care Sunday, I do mask, okay? So I will either do a mask from my book, which is like a fruit-based mask. There's a really good one with banana, avocado, and papaya. Mix that up, put it on, and literally eat the rest. You know, it's just like, it's just so beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so I'll do that once a week. Or I'll do the aloe vera once a week on my hair and my skin. Or the Irish sea moss. Okay, so those are I choose one of those. Okay, then something that I do every single day. So all I do is wash with water and coconut oil if I'm breaking out. I don't use any moisturizer. If I had dry skin, I would use coconut oil. Okay, but this is something I do every single day. The dry brush. Are you into the dry brush?
I need to get into dry brushing because I know the powers of it. I just haven't been, you know how there's like a million things that we should do? That's like one of the things that's like on my list, but I don't do, but I should. So you're going to convince me to do it, right?
This is a feature because it's so simple. It takes 30 seconds, okay? And you can do it on your face too, but I don't really do it on my face. Start here, okay? Start here, go all the way through my body, always towards the heart. Okay, and not only is this going to exfoliate your skin, okay, it's going to make it feel super soft. It's going to help your lymphatic system. Okay, it's great for moving your lymph nodes. It's also great for energy. So first thing when I wake up, I will do this, especially there's 3 points: back of your neck, the inside of your elbow, and behind your knee. These are the 3 points that really, if you stimulate them with the brush, they really wake you up. And I love this thing. And it's also great for cellulite. It's great for loose skin, okay? Because I have cellulite and loose skin. I was 65 pounds more than I am today. So, you know, and obviously you are much smaller than you were as well. And this is something that has brought me a lot of value in my life, and it's so inexpensive. And you don't wet it, guys, okay? It's a dry brush. Keep it dry. I also have one in the shower, just in case I forget to do this or I don't have time. I have a wet brush. So like I always do my, the back of my thighs, because I'm still working on the cellulite thing. One day. One more thing that's really simple too. Like I'm really into the simple stuff that's like basically free. I just love it. I spend all my money on exotic fruit, so I got to keep it simple and free. So I use a toothbrush to exfoliate my lips. This is something I've been doing since I was 20 years old, okay? I'm almost 37 now, and I have never had cracked lips, ever. And I swear it has to be this. I brush my teeth, and then I exfoliate every morning and night with the toothbrush. Do you do that too? It's so
I have done it. I need to do it more. It has to be incorporated into my, That's another thing quick, on a side note is habit stacking, right? Like if you want to make a new habit, stack it with a current one. So if you're already brushing your teeth every day, which you should be, stack the exfoliation, right? Yes. Stack it on top, because you're doing the toothbrushing anyways. So start doing that. If you do the you brush your teeth, maybe put your dry brush right next to your toothbrush. So whenever you go to get your toothbrush, you're like, oh yeah, I need to dry brush as well, right? So like connecting the two, because it's so hard to create new routines. Like if somebody wants to do like self-care Sunday, it has to be scheduled until it becomes a habit. You can't just like, 3 Sundays go by and you're like, oh yeah, I was trying to do that every Sunday, right?
Life is still going to happen. Even when we want to, like, we're going to incorporate new things. We want to form new habits, right? But there's still life. Life happens around that, right? We don't get extra time once we find out about things we want to do. So what Lissa just said is the key. Habit stacking, and make it easy for yourself. Literally keep your dry brush next to your toothbrush. And then you're going to see it and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. 5 seconds. And honestly, it makes you feel so good. In the middle of the day, sometimes I will do this. Instead of coffee, do this, guys. It really wakes you up, and it's free. It's all natural. It's healthy. Come on. Like,
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
We had a question. What do you do for sunscreen? What's your sunscreen?
Okay, I live in Miami. I live on the beach in Miami. So this is a great question. Okay. So
I live in the desert, so.
So I personally do not wear sunscreen, but let me tell you, I'm very conscious of the sun. So I always put on a hat, a wide brimmed hat, and I will wear, if I go out in the middle of the day, which is rare, I don't really go out between 12 and 4, okay? I like to go to the beach early morning or after 6, okay? The sun is very, very strong here. And obviously, sun is very good for you, right? So I try to at least get an hour outside every day, right? But it's very strong, and I'm from New York. I'm not used to this, okay? So I wear a big hat. I sometimes wear long, light clothing to cover my skin, and I make sure to not get any more than, 20 minutes of like direct extreme sunlight a day. I would say that is the best tips. I don't have a good sunscreen. I've bought them from Whole Foods for like guests and for my mom. The best one that I have found is the ones for babies. Okay, so if you need to wear a sunscreen, get one from Whole Foods, a natural one that's made for babies with like, I think zinc free or something like that. I'm not sure about the sunscreen, but the baby one seems like the most natural. What would you say, Lissa?
Yeah, so for me, I'm kind of like you too, because I'm from Canada, where we have like no sun exposure. It's like sunny for like 3 months out of the year, and when it is, there's mosquitoes. So I want to be outside more, but I've never had that like always being outside, right? So for me, outside is like, I don't want to go outside because I've just been conditioned by the environment that I grew up in, right? It's always cold or there's mosquitoes and I just don't want to go outside. But here, like Nate and I, this morning, we drove out to Red Rock and we meditated after our hike up into the rocks. There's no bugs. It's warm and sunny, and it was like 8:30, and it was like summer in Canada. And I was like, this is amazing. I love it here. So that was like super amazing. But we do hike in the middle of the day because we love it, right? And if that's the only time we can get out, then we do it or what have you. But I'm the same too. Like, I like to get the sun exposure, but I find that our diet really helps with the like burning, right? It's like you burn less. You still can burn for sure, and we should be conscious of it. But yeah, wearing hats, covering up when you need to. I use Eminence. They have a Lilikoi sunscreen that I use, but I always check to baby is awesome and also reef safe, so that when you wash it off, it's not damaging to the environment as well. So I do have sunscreen, and I only use it when I know we're going to be outside for like 8 hours or something like that. I'll bring it and then we'll put it on like halfway through or something if we are going to be exposed. Also, like when Nate and I went to Mexico, I mean, coming from Canada, going from Canada to Mexico, this is something that I've always heard of, like over the last 20 plus years that I've been in the natural health industry, is a lot of people who get skin cancer issues are the more northerners who do a lot of like vacationing, or they don't have a lot of sun exposure naturally in their environment. And then all of a sudden they're like exposed to like extreme sun and they're out all day and they put the sunscreen on that is being absorbed into their body. And that's it. When it's heated, it's carcinogenic, right? So you're putting this carcinogen on your skin that becomes carcinogenic as you heat it, and you're in like 45 degrees Celsius or 110 Fahrenheit, right? It's heating it up, and then you're absorbing it, and that with the sunburn can be like way more contributors to skin cancer. So wow. Obviously, going from Canada to Mexico, I wanted to protect myself more because I wasn't exposing myself every day to the sun, right? And just being conscious, like you said, be conscious and don't overdo it, and just like take your time with it and be natural with it.
So you said reef safe sunscreen. I never even thought. So will it say, how will I know if it's
Yeah, it'll say reef safe, because there are certain places like in the Dominican, like anywhere where you go on vacation, where say you're going to be swimming in the ocean or in like little lakes or cenotes in Mexico or something like that, where you don't want to damage the sea life, but you still want to protect yourself. There are reef safe sunscreens out there that you can buy, and it says reef safe on them, which is going to be, I mean, obviously it's not ideal, but it's less toxic on the environment, right? Because we have to take that into account too, especially if you are swimming, right? You're going in the water, it's washing off in it, and all the little life, the plants and the fishes, they're going to be exposed to those toxic chemicals.
Something so, I never thought. By the way, somebody said that blue-green algae is one of the best sunscreens, like to have blue-green algae. Like E3 Live, I guess, is a good one. I used to do that a lot. I used to make the E3 Live, like smoothies and stuff. Okay. Oh, Young Living has reef safe. Yeah, so find the best, you know, in a world full of good, best. Find your best option. My best option is what Lissa said as well. I mean, the hat, and just being conscious of it. And then I had a quick question before we go, because it's already been an hour, which is crazy.
I know. I love talking to you.
I just wanted to know the teeth thing. What do you use, like as far as your toothpaste, as far as a toothbrush goes? There's so much different information, conflicting information in the raw world. Like, is it okay to use electric toothbrush? Should I be using a soft one? What do you use for your teeth?
Yeah, so I was using a bamboo one for a while, but I I really like Norwex products. They're the microfiber and they are the least damaging for when it comes to microplastics. So because the products are made with such high quality that they don't break down as much when you're washing them. So like, you know, the standard microfibers that you can get from like the dollar store or Walmart or whatever, and it's like, oh, microfiber is amazing. Those microfibers are really cheaply made, and when you wash them, the microplastics go into our oceans. Whereas with Norwex, they specifically formulate their microfiber cloths so that they don't release as much microplastics. So they're even better than like even cotton stuff, right? There's still microfibers that are going into your, like when you wash, it's going down the drain, right? So we also have a guppy bag where we put our microfibers in that catches any microplastics that come off of them while we're washing them. But Norwex has a toothbrush. So you buy the handle once. Like we'll have those handles forever until they break, right? Well, it's not like we're brushing our teeth to break them, but they have the little heads that have silver in them. So it's antibacterial and they don't like you can replace them like a little longer than 6 months because of the silver in them. So that's what we use for our toothbrushes right now. And Nate has a water pick. So he does a water pick in his mouth, and we use Magic Mud for our toothpaste.
Magic Mud.
It's a charcoal. Yeah, there's no SLS or whatever. The ingredients are amazing, and it's a black toothpaste. So it's charcoal, really good detoxifying for the mouth, and I love the cinnamon one. And that's what we do for our toothpaste. But I have also used coconut oil and baking soda, which works really well.
So
too.
Norwex, is that Norwex?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody's wondering, I use an electric toothbrush now, and I really, you know, I've done a lot of research, and Don Bennett is someone who I really do trust, and he has so much information on his website, guys, about teeth health. You know, it's a big thing for me because being a long-term raw vegan, I did some things in the beginning that destroyed my teeth, okay? And I have some videos on YouTube about it, but basically, I ate a lot of dried fruit. Like it was my job, basically. I ate dates all day, every day. And I never took care of my teeth. I didn't brush them properly. I didn't floss. I didn't have a water pick. I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I never ate greens after eating dried fruit. Don Bennett, yes, Don Bennett. Okay, so now I know much more, and I'm always asking people their advice. So I use an electric toothbrush now, and I also use a water pick. Okay, very important. I floss a lot after every meal now. I also love to eat greens after fruit. So if I have a fruit meal, I'll have like a piece of celery or a piece of romaine or a cucumber, something to just remineralize my teeth. And then for the toothpaste, I make my own, okay? Just like Lisa said, so I use coconut oil, baking soda, and peppermint oil, okay? Ooh. So simple, it's so easy. Obviously, the recipe's in my book, but and then I put it on, and then if I'm traveling, I use EcoDent, which is a powdered toothpaste that Don Bennett, you know, says is one of the better ones. You know, it's so, you talk to everyone, they have a different opinion on the toothpaste thing, you know? Is glycerin okay? Is this okay? Even some people talk about fluoride. Is fluoride okay, you know? Because I know Ronnie, what is his name? Ronster?
Ronster,
yeah. He believes in fluoride, and I'm definitely going to
I don't believe in fluoride, but everyone has their views, right? Like you said. But another thing I wanted to say, like Magic Mud, someone was asking who makes Magic Mud. It's just Magic Mud. You can Google it. You can order it on Amazon if you want. Or you can buy the bundle and make some of Jeannette's recipes. Bundle link is in our bios. It's also pinned here in the comments. So, but yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is rinsing your mouth out after you're eating. Is huge, right? Just like clean water, swish it around, and get those sugars and fibers and everything out after you eat. So important. And I learned a lot from Don Bennett too. And some people who have completely damaged gut microbiomes, don't necessarily have adequate or enough bacteria to convert K1, which is from your leafy greens, into K2, which is essential for healthy teeth, bones, and nails, right? So K2 can be a supplement that people can take if they have like damaged guts, or they're, have weak teeth, they're always getting cavities, or their nails are always breaking. It might be something to look into, because I think supplementing, if you need it, is a great thing, because our world is just messed up, right? So we have to do with what we can the best we can. But that can be something too. And I really love how you say you eat some greens after the fruit, because that's what a lot of frugivorous primates do anyways. And I think people put so much value on fruit, and fruit is amazing, and I'm not saying that it's not, but we have to include the greens as well. The fruit is like the hydration, the calories, the energy, the vitamins, and all that good stuff. But the greens are the minerals, the fiber, the grounding. Like, they both work together in a really healthy diet long term. And I think that can cause a lot of problems too, when people are just eating dates all day and not rinsing their mouth out, not doing those things, and then they blame the raw diet for the problems, when it's like, it's not the food.
That's what happened to me. I went to a dentist. I was having all sorts of, my teeth were breaking. Literally, I bit into a fork and my tooth broke. And I went to a dentist, and she was like, I told her what I ate, and she was like, oh no, that is so unhealthy. But I did more research. I had some consultations with some people, and I found out I was chewing on dried mangoes, bananas, persimmons, and dates all day long, not rinsing with water, not eating greens, not flossing. I was doing it to myself with the dried fruit. And I so agree with what you just said, Lisa. The greens, so important for mineralization and for grounding and for the microbiome, for everything. So
for everything, I know. And that's the thing too. We have to include everything, because we are unique. We are frugivorous primates, but we are also unique, right? Just because chimpanzees do something, or gorillas do something, or other primates just like us do something, doesn't mean that humans need to do that too, right? They're just a guide. We are just in the group, because fruit should be the majority of our calories. But we also have a very different gut microbiome than they do. We have a synergistic relationship with the gut, and studies are showing, I mean, it's a brand new science where we're diving into the gut microbiome, and a lot of things that we're all realizing is that we need variety, hardcore, right? We need to eat the most variety possible to have the strongest, healthiest gut microbiome. And the people who eat over 30 different plant foods every week have the strongest gut microbiomes. And 30 isn't a lot. I mean, Nate and I eat like 80. I think we like added it up. It was like 83 or something. I was like, whoa, we eat a lot of variety. But the majority of it comes from fruit, because that's our energy, that's our calories, that's our hydration and our vitamins, and fruit is amazing. But we also make sure that we focus on variety. And the only way we could do that was starting slow, adding a little variety here and there. Because there's lots of people who are like, I cannot digest broccoli. And it's like, well, you shouldn't be eating 3 cups all at once if you haven't had broccoli for 3 months, right? Start with 1 floret every single day. Just put 1 little floret in your dressing, or chop it up really fine and put it in your salad. Get those gut microbiome used to enjoying broccoli, and they'll grow, and suddenly you'll be able to have more broccoli, right? And then you have more variety. Work in the same way with cabbage, and just work on that, because 90% of our serotonin, our happy hormone, is made in our gut. 70% of our immune system is our gut. Like, they work synergistically with us, and so many people completely ignore over half the cells in our body, right? They're not providing them the fiber, and in turn, those bacteria die off. I actually read, not like anyone who's like eating this way is ever going to do this, but I just read a study where this guy ate McDonald's for 10 days. And I know that's extreme, but he ate McDonald's for 10 days, and he lost, like, I think it was like 10% of the species of bacteria in his gut. Wow. Because he wasn't feeding them plant fibers.
10 days.
Like, in 10 days. And I'm thinking, like people who eat too simply, right? Like they're just eating bananas, mangoes, romaine lettuce, and cucumbers and tomatoes. That's like 5 different things. You're only going to feed the gut microbiome that love those 5 things. So then when you do eat salad or kale or cabbage or what have you, randomly, you get gas and bloating and stuff because you just don't have the bacteria to digest it. That's really all it is. It's not the food's fault. It's your weak gut microbiome. So I love like having a wide variety of fruit, like passion fruit and pineapple. And I know not everyone can have all that variety. You're going to work with what you have in your location and what's seasonal and all that jazz. But having the most variety in any season, in any possibility way you can, is going to be beneficial not only for your digestion, but for your skin, which is what we're talking about, your internal beauty and all that stuff. So,
and your immune system, and the healthier you are, the healthier you'll look. So it's so important what Lissa just said. Please, every time you go to the grocery store, just get one thing you usually don't get or you've never tried before. And like she said, a little bit at a time. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to digest it. And that's normal. That's totally normal. And I love what you just said, Lissa, about how we are like, we're like experimenting, you know, because we're not exactly like chimpanzees. We're not exactly like, you know, we're like our own species here. We're living inside, doing things that animals don't do. We're on our phone all day. We're, you know, whatever. So using makeup products, and we're living in a toxic environment sometimes, you know, depending on where you work or what city you live in. Really good point. I never thought of that either. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you think about it too, like, yes, like we can adapt to all of this stuff, right? As long as we have balance, right? Like the phones are amazing. We can connect with each other like this. We can teach the world, anyone who's able to listen, who can connect as well. Like it's amazing. All of this stuff is amazing. Our cities, our cars, how we're able to get pineapples in Canada. Like this kind of stuff is amazing stuff. But we also have to find the balance in the nature. But we are the only species that we know of. I mean, we don't know if cats have this conversation, but it's obvious that we are the only species that studies itself. We study ourselves. We study our environment. Our brain, this brain that we have, named itself. We named our brains, right? Like we are so different from every other animal species on this planet, right? We're creative. We take natural foods, right? And we make raw tacos. We make face masks. We do these things. We're so different than other species. So we have to look at what works now with the science. Like we're studying what is best for us. And we can look back on our ancestors, what our ancestors did, but everything that they did was based on survival and what was around, right? They didn't have the science and the studies and everything. So like, how can we improve on what our ancestors did? Why do we want to go back to what our ancestors did? They did stuff in survival states and we want to thrive. So what's better, right? We just have to like move forward and accept that we are evolving as a species and we can't go back to the way it was. We just have to find balance and find that connection with nature, but also the appreciation for our studies and our learning and our creativeness. And it's just such a beautiful thing. It's cool being a human because we have, like, we are having this conversation. It's not like cats or dogs or lions or even gorillas have cell phones and can communicate like this. And, you know, it's really interesting world, that's for sure.
For sure. Wow, that is so fascinating, Lissa. And I just honestly could speak to you all day, literally.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, on that note, we should probably end because I could talk
before
to you
we go
forever,
down a rabbit hole of that. We could.
Right? And I've got a live in 50 minutes. We're going to be making salads in the kitchen. I'm going to be teaching how we make an epic salad and the tips on how to make an epic dressing. So we're going to be doing that at 1 o'clock. And to everybody watching, thank you so much. This live will be saved on my Instagram. And Jeannette, you can actually get an app called Instant Save. And if you go to my IGTV and you tap the 3 dots, you can say copy link. and then open Instant Save, and it'll download it onto your phone so you can put it on your YouTube channel or whatever you want.
Amazing.
You're welcome. But yeah.
And I also just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that said like such nice comments while we were talking. There were so many comments, we couldn't get to them all, but there were such lovely, amazing comments. Somebody said that I don't look over 27, so I saw that comment. I saw that. Storing that here. And thank you, Lissa, for everything. You have the most beautiful soul. And guys, Lissa is exactly the same in real life that she is online. Literally, and I couldn't believe it, because some people are not, but Lissa is. And I really appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do in general. Like, you literally are changing the world. You've changed my life through your book and your knowledge and everything that you put out into the world, and I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much to me. I do want to be as real as I possibly can on here. You know, even if I put a filter on once in a while. Right? But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's fun. So, but thank you, Jeannette, so much. Everybody go follow Jeannette. She is at ms.fitvegan, Misfit Vegan. Go check her out. She's amazing. Check out my reel if you want to find her. I tagged her in my reel, so go watch that if you want to, and grab the bundle. The bundle is like, it's only available until November 1st. So you can get the link in her bio or my bio, doesn't matter. Go grab the bundle, make some skincare and some fun recipes.
Thank you so much, Boo Boo. I will see you soon. Love you.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank
love
you,
you. Love you. Ciao, ciao.